Hello and welcome to another video, and I've been playing like crazy since the Civil War patch. I've been trying to figure out which weapons and equipment are the most impactful, which are the sort of okay ones, and which are kind of bad and not really that useful. I think I've figured it out for at least my personal playstyle, and I want to go into this in this video. First, we're going to talk about the good stuff, what I think is the most impactful for me and will change the way that I play and the way that I build mechs the most. Now, this is a personal opinion, and you may disagree with some of it, and that's great, and I want to hear about it in the comments below. So, if you disagree with one of these points, let's have a discussion about it. But to get on into it, the most impactful part of the Civil War tech has to be the Light Fusion engine. It is changing all of my Inner Sphere mechs massively. The biggest balance difference between the Clan and IS has been the difference between the XL engines. The fact that the IS die when they lose a side torso and the clans don't. This is a lore rule. If you lost if you took 3 critical hits to an engine slot, you would die. But MechWarrior Online doesn't model critical hits with weapons fire for engines, but it does when you lose a side torso, because those would count as critical hits. So that is the reason why they die. It's a rule from BattleTech, the tabletop. But with the light engine, you now only have 2 slots in the side torso, so they act just like clan mechs. And that's great. It gets rid of the majority of the issue. The damage that it takes to kill them is exactly the same, but the weight savings is not exactly there. It's only 50% of the weight savings. It's most of the issue, it's not all of the issue. I wish we could just say ISXLs now can take a side torso loss and fix it and have it be equal, but I have accepted that that's not going to occur. But the Light Fusion engine is the best thing otherwise. Yes, you're most likely going to have to sacrifice something in order to get a Light Fusion engine onto your mech compared to having an XL. You're going to be going a bit slower. You're going to have a little bit less firepower. Yeah, but I think that's what IS mechs can do now. IS mechs can be these stupidly durable mechs that have a decent firepower that they just keep on shooting again and again and again, and they never bloody die. Because a lot of those mechs got side torso and center torso durability increases because they were using XLs. They were okay with all of these durabilities and an XL because you could kill them with taking out just one side torso. But now they have the same durability, but you have to take out both side torsos or the center torso. So their durability has gone through the roof because you have to account for that durability quirk twice now. Not only is it just like, oh, he's got an additional, say, 15 on the side torso, it's now you have to chew through an additional 30. That may not sound like a bunch, but when that's every single opposing mech sort of thing, yeah, that's a lot of durability increase that you have to chew through in order to defeat your opponents. You're going to have to sacrifice some amount of engine rating, some amount of firepower. But there are new weapons that are performing very well that can save you that weight, so you can get that Light Fusion engine on there. And we're going to go into those right now. I think the most impactful weapons from the entire patch are the Inner Sphere UAC 10, UAC 20, ER Medium, and ER Small. You have to think about these in terms of their profiles. Where would you be using them? What range? What situation? There's 2 real things for these. There's the short range brawl and the mid range poke. For short range brawl, previously you would take a regular AC-20 and medium lasers if you're going for that ballistic energy combo. You could go with like CERMs, but we're talking about the ballistic here. But both of them have 270 meter range. That's the idea. You're going for 270 meters for your main weapon, and you're trying to match that with your backup lasers. That's why medium lasers were taken. They have the same range. You could do your pokes, you could reach out to that 300, 325-ish range and still do the majority of your damage. With the new tech, The UAC 20 is just a blatant increase of DPS compared to the AC 20. It's just better. So that's getting swapped out. Now, you can take your mediums and you can put ER smalls in their place. It's going to be, yeah, a little less damage at those sort of longer range pokes, but if you ever get within their effective, they're so much better comparatively for brawling. That's one thing that the regular small could never do, is it would just not have enough range. The 200 meter effective is just enough to be able to brawl with them. And by doing that, by switching your medium lasers to ER smalls, you can save a half a ton per gun. Now, of course, they aren't equal in terms of like how much damage they do, how much heat they generate, and all that kind of stuff. But I have found that something like the Marauder Hero, the Bounty Hunter, I've done 7 ER smalls and an Ultra 20 on that thing with a light fusion engine. It's a devastating little brawler. The ER smalls are cold as hell, you can fire them constantly, and the Ultra 20, it's just beautiful. And then you look at the other range bracket, which is the mid-range poke, the 300 to 600 range, where before you would take, say, a large pulse laser and AC-10s, or a large pulse laser and Ultra 5s. Now, that large pulse laser can be replaced with ER mediums. They have the exact same range almost, the exact same range profile. You just take your large pulse out and you replace it with like 2 or 3 ER mediums. Yes, it's going to take more hard points, but if you can do it, multiple ER mediums are way more effective than large pulse lasers per ton. It's saving you so much tonnage that you can actually get your light fusion engine in your mech. I did this with my Cataphractic Myrmets. Put out that video a day ago or so, whenever I get this up. The 3 ER mediums on there would be equivalent to like a large pulse, but there's so much weight I saved by doing that I could have multiple more tons of ammo and multiple more tons of heat sinks and such to make that build actually work and have the same damage potential downrange. Along with that, it's the same thing with the UAC 10. Not only is it a blatant increase from the regular AC-10, but where if you wanted a UAC before, you would have to take 5s. So you wanted that alpha strike of 10 damage with your 5s, so you would take 2 UAC 5s. But now, your 2 UAC 5s can be downgraded, sort of side graded to a UAC 10. It's way less weight to do that, way less crit space too, and you can have the same front-loaded damage potential with a single UAC 10 than it was 2 UAC 5s. Now, of course, the UAC 5s can reach out further. UAC 5s have the ability to do the long range bracket of 600 to 900, but I'm specifically talking about the mid-range bracket of 300 to 600. In that bracket, if you were trying to design for it, and you took UAC 5s, you're taking a weapon that's a little too long for your bracket, and you don't really need it. But now you can take that UAC 10, and it fits perfectly in that bracket, and it is exactly what I was doing when I was designing that Ilya Myrmets. I was making a 300 to 600 meter poker, and it works so well compared to all the other designs I have done before that have been trying to focus on that bracket. I've had to go with laser vom particularly to work that bracket, but now I can work it with ballistics, and that makes me really excited. But yeah, I think those are the most impactful weapons and technologies for me. I want to hear your opinions on that reasoning in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and good hunting.